If you're new here, welcome in, and if you know me, welcome back. And today we're talking about Pros vs. Joes, Episode 7. If you're just joining, Pros vs. Joes is where 3 non-professional athletes try to compete with some of the best athletes to ever walk the earth in some challenges. If you've seen this series, the pros are the same as Episode 3. You have John Rocker, the controversial wild card reliever, WNBA legend Rebecca Lobo, who is already equipped with jokes in this episode.
We got the little crew this time.
Already?
We have NFL kicking legend Morton Anderson, swimming Olympian Gary Hall Jr., and I actually hope we get to see some swimming today. Last up is top 50 NBA player of all time Clyde Drexler. And now it's time to meet the Joes. First up is Lem Collins from South Carolina.
Much here just to kick some pro butt.
Now, you claim to be number one. What makes you think that you're number one?
Well, they gave me this number for a reason. I'm pretty much good at everything I do, so.
Joe number 2 is Nolan Quinn, a produce salesman. And Joe number 3 is Keith Dietz.
My name's Keith Dietz. I'm 36 years old from Venice, California. And I was just looking for the nearest convenience market, and I showed up here.
What's the matter with you? How could you be so irreverent here on the stage?
Well, I was looking for a burrito. I couldn't find one.
You sicken me.
And you know what? I've heard enough. Keith is my early favorite to win today. I have never seen someone so nonchalant on this show. And I feel like he's using that as a front for his athleticism. I got an eye on you, Keith. I got an eye on you. Now, the first matchup is facing off against Clyde Drexler. Oh boy, this is going to be fun. And Clyde is locked in for sure.
You better stretch out, Clyde.
I just hope he doesn't do much posting up.
I got 2 words for those cats. Vitamin deficiency.
The number one rule in active competition is never underestimate your opponent. But it's hard to adhere to that rule.
Now, these Joes are giving off more happy to be here energy, which is totally fine.
I can't believe that it's Clyde
The
Glide.
Drexler.
How about that?
How you think he gonna do against him, man?
All I know is I have one thing that he can't do, and
What's
I'm
that?
going to do it. Well, I'll show him out there.
Okay.
But it's time to get to the audition tapes here. First is Nolan's tape, and he shows off his accuracy by hitting a Barbie doll out of a chair.
Now let's check out my arm.
He just knocked his girlfriend out of that chair. Is that a baby?
I'm going to say something here. Honestly, not a bad throw. But the funnier part of the episode is when he runs a race against his dog.
Go! Dog's gonna beat your ass.
Wow. I think you can tell by that I have impressive speed. I have to go out there with the pros.
I do not know why this is in the tape. Next up is Lem Collins, who is punching a blocking sled as if he's a boxer. All right. And he does what I think is a Pros versus Joes first.
I'm gonna show you what it takes to be number one.
Oh, nice cut. Scared?
I'm shaking.
And I just gotta say that editing your Pros versus Joes audition tape like that is crazy. I cannot believe this is the first time that's happened in 7 episodes. Dude probably opened up Windows Movie Maker and just started cutting it up. This was the early 2000s. I've been thinking about it a little bit more. Editing on audition tape is very funny. I just... Come on, man.
Oh, did you see that?
Good editing on this.
Dog, no way, man. He did it again? We got some comedians in this episode, bro. Last up is Keith, who says he has a special basketball move.
I do have this one move that nobody can beat. It's around the back and under the leg in 2 steps, and it goes in every time. Now you tell me if you know somebody that can do that. They always mess up and they travel. I said in 2 steps.
Was that in football or
Basketball, baby. It's a finishing move.
I'm shaking.
The funniest thing about Keith's audition tape is that there's just someone in the background chilling,
Who's the guy sitting behind
He's
him?
back there with the
To play
ball.
more ball.
almost as if neither of them expected to actually have Keith be on the show. And they just did this for fun, and this is the energy that it's been giving off this entire time, which is totally fine. I think that if I personally sent a Pros versus Joes audition tape or audition for any reality TV show, I'm thinking, like, they're never gonna call back. I'm never gonna be on this show, might as well have fun with it. Yeah, better not be as chalant with it, but, you know, Keith was surprisingly there. Anyway, it's time to ball against Clyde Drexler, and it's 1v1 to 20 points. which that might take us a while. And it's not make it take it. And Clyde Drexler says he hasn't played in years. Years. First up is Nolan, and dude, he is just not close, bro.
D up, Nolan. 2-zip. It'll be over in 2 minutes if it was make it take. Nolan attacking Drexler.
No wonder nothing in his audition tape had basketball involved. Clyde gets out to an early 11-0 lead, and Nolan gets a layup on Clyde, but it feels like Clyde let him score here.
Fruit salesman, but so far unable to produce. Oh, on the reversal! Nolan Quinn scoring 2 points. 11-2 is the score. Oh my God!
And then Clyde takes it personally and wipes the floor with him, 20-2. My theory on this one is that it took a long time because the editing is cut up into just Clyde highlights. I feel like Nolan didn't even get close to the basket at all. Next up is Lem Collins, who had basketball in his audition tape, but it was heavily edited, so I have no idea how good he actually is. He goes for an early 3, but it's no good. I like the confidence, though. It looks like Lem does play basketball, but his moves aren't built for going up against someone taller than him. He also doesn't have the height on defense, which Clyde makes fun of in a way that only Clyde can actually do.
Nolan Quinn scored a deuce against Clyde. That's the best thus far. Clyde gets his own rebound, tries to tap it in. This is just silly. Clyde using his height advantage.
And honestly, I'm going to say this right now. I would rather have you talk trash to me. I would rather have you talk trash to me instead of just silently making fun of the fact that I can't get a rebound on you. I would rather just have you talk smack. Lem, however, does not come home empty and hits the longest of long twos to make it a 9-2 game. Lem needs one more shot to pass Nolan.
18-2 is the score. One more basket puts Lem in the lead. He shoots. And he's good!
Get this guy in my face.
Lem on the board with the 2. 2 points for Lem, 18-4.
I gotta say, man, it's wild that you could be down that much and still feel like you can trash talk accordingly. Anyway, Lem only scores 4 points against Clyde. Last up is Keith, and he's here to answer my main question. Can he actually hoop?
Blocked. Clyde most definitely stronger.
I knew that.
Rejected again. Clyde with the ball. Clyde to the hoop. And the foul.
Despite wearing the headband, Keith just doesn't have it in him so far.
9-zip is the score.
What are you gonna...
Each driving the lane. Oh, what in God's name was that?
It gets up to 16-0 already for Keith, and it's just not looking good. But remember, he only needs 5 points to win this round.
Trey moves the glide up to a 16-0 lead over Dietz. Now Dietz for 3. Oh, Dietz drains the triple. It's now 16-3. Great shot by Keith Dietz. The only way he was going to score on Clyde.
And honestly, that's a great shot, dude. Props to him because that's NBA range level stuff, which isn't an easy shot to make if this isn't what you do for a living. Keith gets the ball back and basically has one more chance to pass Lem because the game is to 20 and Clyde Drexler will score on the next possession without a doubt.
Dietz needs 2 points or Lem Collins is going to be our winner. There's a 3, and it's good! And it's good! It's 18-6. Dietz has won matchup 1 with back-to-back 3-pointers. Wow!
Honestly, this could come down to Clyde being tired, but overall, this was the best strategy possible for Keith, and basically his only strategy, honestly. He had been spending so much time getting packed up by Clyde earlier that the long range was his only option. It was his only form of offense. Clyde wins, but Keith gets the vault play of the day and wins matchup number 1. And then we head on to the next event, which is swimming. And oh, buddy, you're facing the Olympic swimmer, you're going to get cooked easily. I am glad that Gary gets more shine this time around because in the last episode he was on, he really didn't get that much time to talk or showcase his swimming abilities. But now we get to the pool to see in the second matchup, the Joes are going to do a 100-meter freestyle against him. Since the second matchup has a twist, you have to pull yourself underwater that they placed at the bottom of the ladder. You can come up for air, but when you come up for air, you can't move. So you can't move while you're above water. Keith is going first, and apparently he used to be a lifeguard, which won't be Gary, but that could absolutely be an advantage over the other Joes. But Gary Hall is moving. Oh my goodness. Keith has to come up for air multiple times, while Gary is simply just too good. He finishes the first go-round in 80 seconds, while Keith is going through it. He finishes in 2 minutes and 18 seconds, which isn't bad, it's just... dude. Next up is Lem Collins.
Lem, Joe number 1, taking a little dip here to get acclimated to the water. Lem, originally on his questionnaire, ranked himself a 9 in swimming.
A 9? Hopefully that was out of 10 and not 100, but we'll see.
Oh, we can't beat one of this. He's gonna drown.
But his face right now telling me he's not a swimmer. A lot of worry on that face.
Did he lie? Can he not swim? You should have let off with that, man. Lem Collins gets out of the water and says that he had a traumatic incident when he was younger and forfeits the competition.
You all right?
Yeah, I'm pretty good, man.
Feel okay?
A little shaky, that's all. I had like a minor incident when I was young, man. It's kind of, bringing back the memories. So
You gonna give it a shot?
I don't think I would be able to do it, man.
You're saying no?
Yeah.
Okay. We respect that decision. Lem Collins is pulling himself out.
This is why you don't lie on a job application, man. I think this is the first Pros vs. Joes forfeit in history. And honestly, I don't think I can really name that many other events where a forfeit is doable. Because if he just can't swim, then that, yeah. But I feel like that should have been discussed. Anyway, so now it's up to Nolan to see if he can win. And Nolan starts off really strong, honestly, but I think it's because he underestimated just how strenuous this event is, and he keeps coming up for air, like, frequently. Gary Hall finished in 1 minute and 7 seconds, even faster than the first time. Nolan is super close and finishes with 1 minute and 54 seconds. So Nolan wins the matchup, and now Lem has no choice but to win the third matchup, which is soccer. Now Lem explains himself once more.
I know, man, but once I got in the water, man,
We would have pulled you out.
Yeah, but,
He would have given you mouth to mouth.
Yeah, right.
I'm sure.
I would have rather died.
All right, that feels a little extreme, but let's move on, I guess. Next up is soccer, and I really wonder who will pick Morten Andersen, the former NFL kicker. This is going to be a penalty shootout where each one takes turns being a striker and the goalie. Keith picks Morten because he thinks he'll miss low because kickers aim high. That's his rationale.
Morten Andersen.
You want Morten Andersen?
I want Morten Andersen.
Why? He's a kicker.
Because he's used to going for field goals high. He's going to miss everything low. That's my strategy.
He makes his living with his foot, man.
I think that he's used to kicking at a goalpost 20 feet in the air.
You're thinking too much.
I respect the strat, but I would have totally picked either of the other two. Nolan picks Rebecca because he thinks that she might be slower than Rocker. I don't know. First up is Morten, and Keith blocks the first one, but he lets the next 4 go through. Keith will have to score all 5 goals to win, and I thought that this would be a regular PK, but no, it's like a run-up and kick thing. It's no matter, because Morten's a crazy good goalkeeper, and doing that at his age is actually, like, super impressive. So Keith falls behind 4-2. Next up is Rebecca Lobo, and Nolan stops the first 2 goals. Lobo can't really kick, and Nolan stops all 5 balls. Now it's Nolan's turn, and he misses the first 2 shots. Oh my, dude, the first 3 shots. The 4th one is blocked by Lobo also. It comes down to the final shot.
Far. Oh, that one's blocked by Lobo. Nolan Quinn shut out Rebecca Lobo. Now Lobo's returning the favor. This could end in a tie, and Collins is ecstatic. Last shot. Nolan Quinn, Joe number 2's got to score here. And he does! The mighty Quinn down to his last ball.
Nolan only comes out with 1 goal after that, which is kind of wild. And last up is John Rocker. And Rocker looks like all power and very unpredictable, and he's going against Lem. Rocker hits 4 out of 5 goals, which makes me question if he's played soccer before because he was really driving them home. Lem has no room for error here. He has to score all 5 goals or he's going home. On his second ball...
Remember, he needs to score on every shot to tie Nolan Quinn. Lem with the kick, Rocker with the save on the dive. Lem Collins cannot win, it's over.
They don't even let him finish the drill, man. So Lem gets eliminated in a really interesting performance. We have the first forfeit in Pros vs. Joe's history, and I wonder if this would deter them from more swimming stuff in the future. No idea, though. Anyway, we have Nolan and Keith going head-to-head in the overtime gauntlet here. The first challenge, you have to try to outshoot Clyde Drexler. In the second event, you have to see how long you can hold your breath underwater against Gary Hall. They did this the last time we had this batch of pros, and he absolutely kicked their ass, so I'm not expecting anything different. In the third challenge, you have a free throw competition against Rebecca Lobo. I looked at her WNBA basketball reference, and she was a career 62.8 free throw shooter. In college, she was around 70%. In the fourth overtime challenge, you have to try to get a hit against John Rocker. And lastly, you have to kick field goals up against Morton Anderson. First up, it's Keith and Clyde in a race to see who can score a basket first. I thought Keith was going to get there before him, and he is quicker. But Clyde is so smooth, and he has the wingspan. It's tough. It's tough, man. Also, Clyde is faster than I expected at his age. The second time they go, Keith is mad because he thinks Clyde blocked his shot, and I think so too.
Here they come again. Clyde lays it in. Dietz is one into the ref. He says he got fouled.
But again, this is Spike TV referees. You're not gonna get the calls you want. On the third try, realizing that he's not going to beat Clyde, he tries something unorthodox.
Clyde going to the hole. Dietz pulls up with the big shot. Oh, Dietz! 26 seconds for Keith Dietz.
And I'm gonna be so for real. I cannot believe that shit went in. But the way Keith has been going about this entire episode is honestly the way you have to think about this. You have to try some new stuff if you want to have a chance in some of these things. Next up is Nolan, who seems to have saw that strategy and decides to pull up for a jumper first. But he airballs the first 2 shots that he tries, and I'm just saying that he was the worst basketball player out of the 3, so this does not surprise me in the slightest. Too bad we only have 2 basketball events out of the 5. Nolan times out at 1 minute, and that's a lot for a commanding lead in one challenge. Next up is the underwater challenge, and Gary Hall goes first and stays underwater for 3 minutes and 7 seconds. And this is just for him to basically show off how much he can hold his breath underwater. And this challenge is an intense one because the Joes go at the same time, and no other challenge does this. So as they go, we start to see the bubbles come out from both of them, and they are suffering. And dude, I'm telling you, man, I don't know how long I can hold my breath underwater, but it's less than a minute. I have asthma, but that doesn't change anything, honestly. Nolan comes up first, but Keith has a chance to build on the lead, and he adds 13 more seconds to it.
Nolan Quinn coming up before Keith Dietz.
Next up is free throw shooting against Rebecca Lobo, where if you make one, Lobo has to match it. Lobo matches Keith's first make, Keith hits one at 17 seconds, and Lobo matches Keith until 56 seconds in, which is ice cold clutch from Lobo, and also a break for Nolan, who is the worst player out of the 2. When it's his go, he does get into a groove and makes a couple in a row, and Lobo finally missed at the 41 second mark, which allows Nolan to make up 15 seconds of time. Keith still has a comfortable lead here, but Nolan catches a huge break and cuts the lead to 35 seconds. The fourth challenge is now having to get a hit off of John Rocker, and judging by Keith's swing, I don't think that he's played baseball before. It also doesn't help that John Rocker is not accurate, and we are on a time crunch here, so Keith has to swing at everything. There is no benefit to not swinging at John Rocker's pitch. You have only a minute. Keith gets upset during this and slams the bat in frustration. He maxes out on time, and it's down to Nolan to see if he can get a hit.
No. Rocker showing some speed. Second pitch on the way.
Now that's dirty right there.
Nolan also can't keep up, and he times out, and with his sprint makes up 3 seconds on Keith, with the last event going to be kicking field goals. In this challenge, the Joes have to kick an added distance to Morton's longest field goal, which is 50 yards. Nolan goes for 25 yards and hooks it left, but he hits the next two 25-yarders to make it to the goal line in 20 seconds, which is super impressive. Now, this all comes down to clutch field goal kicking from Keith, and can he actually kick? Keith has 52 seconds total. Keith starts from 25 and shanks it. He nails the 20-yarder, but then we see something unreal from Keith, man.
The 20-yarder, now he needs just 30 yards to finish this event. 20 yards out again, and it's wide right. The clock is ticking on Keith Dietz. Joe number 3, fourth kick. Another 20-yarder, low and right, time is running out. Still needs 30 yards. Oh, wide right, it's over, folks. Nolan Quinn with the $20,000.
Oh no, it all went wrong!
Oh my god, man. Keith couldn't kick. This is an unreal comeback here from Nolan, who had to survive 2 basketball challenges to get here. And I kind of feel bad for Keith, but god, that's a crazy way to lose. I thought he had it, man. Anyway, it's time to rank the pros. At number 5, it's Rebecca Lobo. This was an overall strong performance from all the pros this time around, and 5 and 4 were close, but Lobo was the worst at soccer, and giving her a free throw competition wasn't that exciting. I understand that, but there's so much basketball overlap in these episodes when you are paired with Clyde Drexler that sometimes the challenges that are given out aren't that exciting. Number 4 is John Rocker. John Rocker had a surprisingly strong soccer performance and a pretty good overtime challenge, but I don't think that he was accurate enough to give the Joes a fair chance, honestly. Third is Clyde Drexler, who basically had a flawless performance in this episode, schooling the Joes in basketball challenges and just also being a fun pro to watch on TV. Second is Morton Anderson. Just off the strength of his soccer skills, I had no idea how well those would translate in the challenge, but he was excellent there. And first is Gary Hall, because we finally got to see just how hard swimming is, as all of the Joes struggled, and one was so scared that he didn't even get in the pool, which is that was unpredictable television right there. Overall, this was a really good episode. It really had a lot of what I was looking for in a pros versus Joes matchup, and I liked it. Thank you guys for watching to the end of the video. Feel free to support me on Patreon. Feel free to support me on Nebula. I appreciate you guys, and I'll see you guys next time. Goodbye.